announces your champion is Bradley Dortch. The Alabama Pro gets it done on Championship Sunday. Wow!
Well, we're back out here on the Harris chain, and I have tour champion and rookie Bradley Dortch with me. And it's early, but congrats, man.
Thank you, buddy. It's been a wild and crazy week. It really hadn't even sank in yet. I'm sure the 7-hour ride home this afternoon,
sure.
And I keep looking at the trophy over there, buckled up in the passenger seat, and it'll set in.
Well, I mean, obviously we're going to break down how you won this tournament. You caught your biggest limit yesterday to rally from 5th, 3 events into the tour season, and you already got a win. Things are going pretty good.
Yeah, it's going real good. I think I'm 12th in points. You know, at the beginning of the year, being a rookie, I mean, I was nervous. I'm still nervous, I'm not going to lie, but you know, I told my wife, I said, if I can cash a check first 2 out of 3, you know, that'll give me some breathing room.
Sure.
And kind of hopefully build on some momentum. But I definitely didn't expect to win 1 out of the first 3. So just a blessing for sure.
Well, we got a lot to go over, and it feels kind of fishy right now. So I think we should probably get casting.
I think we should. Its conditions are right for what we're doing.
Let's go. Bradley, break down kind of what exactly we're fishing here, because I watched you on the water, you know, taking photos days 3 and 4, and you spent a lot of time right here.
Yeah, it's an island out here in this bay, and it runs into a point right there. And on the end of the point, it's a clean bottom, hard bottom, and there's a couple of nice, you know, crispy green patches of hydrilla. There's 2, you know, nice clumps off the end of this point right here, and they're isolated. They're separate from this main line down through here. So they sit by themselves. They're near a point. There's a little bit. It falls off in 8 to 10 foot of water on the other side of the point. And out here, you can see on the bottom, just outside of it, it's 5 foot of water, 4 or 5 foot of water just outside, and it's nice and just a clean bottom. So. You know, a lot of fish spawns, got, you know, buggy whips, reeds,
yep, there's
pads, Kissimmee grass. Pretty much has everything a bass needs right here. So they can spawn here as soon as they get done spawning. They got nice green grass they can pull out here and basically live through the summer. I figured it up last night, and probably my best 5 off those 2 clumps would have been around 30 pounds. So that's a good 2 clumps to find. Yeah, I know it. Especially for a tournament.
Yeah,
so,
no kidding.
Yeah, there was quite a few big ones come off those 2 clumps right there.
Man, you're so famous already.
Oh, Lord, I know. Don't tell me. Nah. It's enjoyable. It's definitely something new for sure.
On day 3, I came out and I covered you for on the water stuff, and I did it on day 4, but you know, I watched you, like you talked about, you know, you lost a big one here on day 3, and
yeah.
But it was pretty much all I saw was really the trap.
Yeah.
You know, and then we went and you flipped pads. That was kind of the other part of your program. But yesterday you picked this guy up.
Yep.
And just kind of tell me a little why you made that decision.
Well, you know, when we first got here yesterday morning, I foul hooked one of the 6-pounders, whatever, in the back, and
they were slapping at it.
They were just, yeah, when you snatched it out of the grass, they wouldn't eat it. They would just swat at it, and that's why the fish were coming off. And, you know, with that worm right there, like it is this morning with a little breeze and overcast, you can't hardly beat that worm, period. So, and I knew yesterday when we got here it was overcast, we had a little breeze. And I said, you dummy, you just foul hooked one. Don't go back to that spot again and throw that trap through there. So I turned around and picked up the worm. You're not going to lose many fish on it. You're throwing like a 3/16 ounce weight. You got it pegged. That's a 4/0 like heavy wire hook. And when they eat it, your chances of losing them are slim to none. Oh, did you miss one?
He pantsed me.
Yeah, you did. And then when you rigged that worm, I rigged that worm a certain way.
Ooh, tricks of the trade.
And it probably doesn't make a difference, but to me it does.
Well, let's learn something.
Okay. And just from living in Florida and throwing that big bopper and, you know, a speed worm a lot, for some reason I like it tail up, always.
Oh, okay.
Turn the tail down to start with. And then, and actually what this does, it, I always usually like to skin hook it first. And then once it tears, then I'll bury the hook.
Then you can bury it back in.
And it runs, you know, with the tail straight up.
Oh, sure.
And actually, you know, it just mimics a needlefish. There's a lot of needlefish in this area.
There are a lot of them.
And I know, and just from experience in Florida, those big bass don't like needlefish. You know, and usually it seems like the warmer the water gets in Florida, you'll start to see them chase them more. And I don't know if the needlefish peck at them. I don't know what they do, but big bass love them. So,
well, we changed scenery a little bit for, I guess I'd call it part 2 of your pattern you ran this week. What are we looking at?
actually, when I started the tournament, the first 2 good fish I caught in pads. And I was deciding whether to run to Griffin or stay in Harris. And I made a loop around this island and saw these pads right here, and come in here and caught a few good fish. And one key thing I noticed, this set of pads actually produced every day during the tournament. And one thing about this pads versus other clumps that I found, this has a lot deeper water.
Definitely.
It's, there's 6 foot, 7 foot around the edge of these pads, where the other pads I fished had 3 foot, 3.5 foot.
It was basically spawning fish that you couldn't see, but they're getting on the base of those pads, and you're just flipping a soft plastic stick bait.
Yep. Yeah, just
them.
flipping a soft plastic stick bait, trying to, when I flip it in, I'm trying to land it, where it falls at the base of the pads, because that's where the fish were spawning around. And a lot of these fish, I think, I was catching some post-spawn fish that had probably spawned on up and further in the pads.
Sure.
And then I was actually getting some fry garters, and then actually, caught a few, I think, that had just pulled up to the edge that were, pre-spawn fish. So I was getting a mix of all 3 fish in one place.
Well, I've noticed, the sun's out now, it's kind of peeking through the clouds, and for this pad bite, it seemed like that was a little more of the deal. Like, you needed these conditions for them to bite better in this.
Right. It definitely made a big difference. The days that it was hot, it was sunny, no wind, it seemed like the pad fish bit better. And the reasoning behind that was, once the sun got up, it kind of positioned the fish in the shady spots on the pad. So you could kind of look and see, okay, well, this pad's leaning this way in the shade. So you knew exactly where to flip.
Yep.
Where on the overcast, a few times I made a pass down through, you would flip and I just wouldn't get bit. And I think it's because of the,
oh boy.
I think it's.
Get them out of there.
Oh, that's a big one.
Oh, it is a good one. Get on up in here. Man, he choked it.
That's what we were looking for.
That is. The little post-spawn thing. Obviously, you're fishing the first year out on tour, but you're also, you got a full-time job. Like, you can't just sit around and bum and fish for another couple weeks till Cumberland.
Yeah, that's the marshal I had, for the last 2 days. He followed me around, and after we were done, he said, I don't know who was more excited, me or him, and he said, man, I'm just glad you beat the pros. And he's exactly right. That's what I said. It's first year on tour. I have a job. I have to leave. I have to go work just to afford to pay for it and to do it, And that's the thing about it. It's hard to get started in fishing, period, because it is expensive. And, it's a risk,
Oh, yeah.
So, no, whenever we're done with tournaments, I'll leave, and we may be on a shutdown, so I may work 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, work for MMR Group. They kind of work around my fishing.
Oh, that's nice.
They say, all right, look, we got a shutdown. Can you make it? Yeah, I'll be there. So usually I'll go and work, 10, 12 hours a day. And then when tournament comes, they'll say, what do you need off? So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's, and until I get established, that's, you know, it's part of the game. It's tiring, and you know, I don't have a lot of time to organize tackle. I don't have a lot of time to clean the boat. You know, that's what I said after Travis. I come home and dropped the boat, got up the next morning, and went to work. So
it's a pretty quick turnaround.
it's pretty tiring, I promise you. But after this win, hopefully I can at least take a little time to clean the boat and organize the tackle, where I don't have my wife doing it. That's what I'm talking about.
There we go. Gosh, I didn't know if I had pads fish. I was like,
I know.
we're keeping it coming. Look at that skinny thing though.
Yeah, post pond for sure. Absolutely.
But I mean, that's like you're saying, fish getting done up there, up shallower probably spawning.
Right.
Coming out here to this edge, there's a little drop here.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I said. Right now, you know, we're in 6, almost 7 foot of water. These are some of the deepest pads I found in practice on the whole lake. So it definitely was a key area for me.
Well, I think with that, I think we looked at everything you did, man. We saw you throwing a lipless crankbait, a little bit of a speed worm, and flipping pads. That's what won you the title.
That was the 1-2 punch. I guess Byron said they found out that Vander Holyfield was from Atmore, Alabama, so I was knocking the field out, and basically it was just, like I said, a 1-2 punch, going from the grass, throwing a trap, to coming to the edge of the pads and flipping, and luckily I found 2 areas, you know, within 500 yards that I could bounce without.
I mean, it's literally right over our shoulder here.
Without wasting a lot of time, which was key.
Well, man, I had an absolute blast watching you fish this week. Watching you catch giants. You put on a great show for everyone that was watching FLW Live, and I think it couldn't have happened to a cooler dude. I really appreciate you coming back out.
Thank you, guys.